The head coach will give an opening statement, followed by the player. He will give an opening statement as well. After that, we'll take questions from the media, and the floor will be open for about 10 minutes.
Thank you to Henry and the EASL. Unbelievable staff, unbelievable presentation. This is my first time out in this part of the world, but I've been all over the United States, North America, Europe, and this is as good of a game day presentation as you'll find in the world. Great fans, everything first class, really impressed. Thank you to Lucas Pang, our president. Thank you to our GM, Kevin Conley, and our staff, our players. They put together a great group. They work incredibly hard. We have 4 or 5 staffers that do 6, 7 jobs. You look around at the different groups that are here, the different organizations that are here, they're much more established than us. They have 10, 15 staff members. They have 15 players. We've got a smaller group. We're growing. We're improving. We've been together for about 9 days now. I met Will when I flew over here, and we went to Hong Kong together to get our passports done, and him and his family, his wife and his 14-month-old LJ, and we're growing this program. It takes time. We're working extremely hard at it. We're going to go back, review the film, get better, and get ready for October 23rd in Taiwan.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a lot of these guys' first time out. It was a super fun environment. Those that know me, I played in the ABL back when that was a thing, and coming to the Philippines, it was always crazy. It's been a while since I've been here, and it was great to be back outside of the outcome of the game. I'm grateful to the EASL for having the Black Bears in. I'm grateful for Lucas for finding a way to bring me in. And those that know my story know I stepped away from basketball for almost a year. And it just was really good to be back, and I'm really grateful to those that still support me. So just thank you.
Questions? Yes.
Hi, Coach. Good evening. RJ from the game. Coach, based on what info was given to us by the AESL, you had extensive NCAA background in the U.S. So I guess I just want to get your impressions on the type of basketball that Meralco plays, compared as to what you're used to.
They're older players. There's not quite as much teaching, but they're older, they're stronger, they're smarter. Maybe not as athletic or quick or above the rim, but really smart. They're professionals. You tell them a play, or you tell them what we're doing, and they all get it. Will was excellent tonight. He came up with stuff on his own and just said, hey, we think we should do this, and it was the right call, probably half a dozen times. So they're just older, smarter players. They've been coached in high school by a couple coaches, college by a couple coaches, professionally 5, 6, 7 years. They're smart. You don't stick around playing basketball into your 30s unless you're a really smart, really dedicated professional. And that's what you see. High level, high IQ, really skilled. If you make a mistake, they make you pay. And we made a handful of mistakes, some of them self-inflicted, but really good basketball and really fun environment, and enjoyed it.
Well, just to clarify, this is about Meralco, the team that you face.
Yeah, no, Alan Durham is he's a bully. The guy he's built like one of the Ninja Turtles. You can't get around him. Puts his shoulder on you, he's going to score. He scores with his right hand, scores with his left hand. He didn't make his jump shots tonight, but I know he can make them. We just kind of gambled on that. We said, hey, let's let him shoot him and let's live with it, and try to box him out and get rebounds. But that whole group as a whole has been together for a while now. I think they just finished up their Governor's Cup season. We've had about 6 practices together and 1 scrimmage. So we've got some time to learn each other. But that group, you can tell, they got into situations where we zoned them, they reacted. We manned them, we pressed them. We ran some different sets, we had some different things we moved around, and they just reacted and just kept moving. And they're a well-conditioned team, well-coached team, well-run organization by everything I could see. I watched probably 6 or 7 games from their Governor's Cup and leading up to that. And they're just really sharp. We got lucky with Kennedy missing his open jump shots. We kind of bet on that too and just said we don't know much about him and see if he makes them. He missed a couple that went in and out, and then he started missing them a little bit worse, so we kind of lucked out there. But good team, really good players across the board. They're professionals. Deep into the fourth quarter, you could tell they're still well conditioned, ready to continue to make adjustments and keep playing. They're used to playing a 12-minute quarter in the PBA, and it's a slightly different game, different style with the four-pointer. But they're well conditioned. They play well together. Really sharp team.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, good evening. Ivan from God Sports. Congratulations to your win.
Thanks.
Sorry. Anyway, your next win. All right. It seems that Meralco was prepared to face the Gara on the height difference, limiting him to 8 points and 11 rebounds only. They played small balls on some parts. What will be your adjustment on the next games to come in case this happens once again?
I don't think there's necessarily an adjustment. I think we just got to get used to playing with each other. We haven't had time together. We've had, like I said, 6 or 7 practices, maybe 5 total practices with our entire roster. We did our training camp in Zhuhai, which is across the border into mainland China, and we just moved into Macau into our apartments and getting settled in. And we're probably going to add a new player here in a little while, but we're just getting used to everybody. Sam's getting used to playing with Will. These two have battled against each other. The first 48 hours together, they're kind of like, I wasn't sure if they were going to fight or wrestle or what was going to happen, but they're starting to get used to each other. They're starting to get used to playing with 2 bigs. Will's a great passer. He's a great thinker. Sam's excellent basketball mind. He's played all over the world and had a great deal of success. And I think he's usually the main big, and Will's usually been the main big. Now we have 2 of them. We got to get used to playing together. So we've done a couple little practices and workouts where we've kind of tried to work on a little high-low and positioning and where do you like the ball. And that'll come. That'll come with some time and some feel. We got to get some more practices under our belt. We got to get in shape. I think these guys saw we had a scrimmage about a week ago against Guangzhou Lions, a CBA team, in about 120-degree gym. And Gintel Silla had flown through the night to get there, and Damien had flown through the night to get there. So had Sam, and they were just gassed and tired and working themselves into shape. So we spent the last 4 or 5 days doing 2-a-days, doing a lot of skill development, trying to work together and play a little bit in practice, but trying to get ready for this team that we played today in Meralco. So I thought Sam was great today. A couple fouls I'd love to go back and watch with those officials and see if those were really fouls. Sometimes he's a very large human being and he's very strong, and it's almost like a Shaq or a LeBron in that he gets hit and it doesn't affect him, but it's still a foul, right? Just because he plows right through it doesn't mean it's not a foul. For a normal human being, they would get hit and there would be a reaction, but he just plows right through it and puts the ball through it, and it's still a foul though. He's still getting slapped on the arm, he's still getting hit underneath his legs. But we didn't get a lot of those whistles, which I'm not complaining about. It's just the fact of the matter. He's a unique guy to play with and a unique guy to officiate. But I thought he played through the contact. He always keeps his cool. Sam's the consummate professional. He's going to put in his work. He's going to be on time. He's going to be in shape. He's going to be ready to go. And we're just going to get used to playing with him. We're going to get used to playing together, and we're going to try to find a way to use it to our advantage.
We're going to take about 2 more questions for the Macau Black Bears before we bring in Meralco.
Hi, Coach. Good evening. First off, welcome to the Philippines. I hope it's a great game you guys played out there. But Coach, I just want to get your impression on Chris Newsom, number 11 for Meralco. He scored the most footballs with 18 points, and not only does he play for Meralco, he also played for Gilas, so he has some, international experience. For you guys, did that show up? Did he show up as a threat for you guys, and did his international experience play as a factor for the Bulls, you think?
Absolutely. I mean, he was one of the main guys that jumped out on film, him and Durham. We didn't see Kennedy and we didn't see Kwame, if I'm saying his name right, because they hadn't played in the PBA as much. But Newsom, I mean, we did a scout team and we put a bright red jersey on the person that was one of our players that was being Newsom for the day, and we adjusted our entire defense for him. Typically, we would help off and we would kind of try to plug up the lane, but with Newsom, if you were guarding the red jersey, you've got to get all the way out there and be arm's length because he's such a deadly shooter. And then it's hard to take the ball from him. He's a strong guy. He's not necessarily big and muscular, but he's very sturdy and kind of holds you off. He can get in the post and get a shot off. He's kind of determined right-hand driver, and when he goes, he gets that nudge. I was asking for that to be a push-off foul, but they don't call that here in Manila, and that's okay. But he got to his pull-up and knocked that down. He hit a couple threes that hurt us. But absolutely, he was all over our scouting report. We were worried about him. I thought we did pretty good on him for the most part, but he got loose a few times and made us pay.
One question? Final question? Final question. Good evening, Coach Ivan from Dugout Philippines. Let's talk about your other player, Damian Chonky. He was consistent in the TAT, and right now he is also consistent tonight, 21 points. So talk about him despite being, I'll say this, short in height, but he has the biggest heart per team.
Absolutely. He's from the city of Baltimore. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's Baltimore, Maryland. It's where Kevin Connolly's from. It's where I went to college. It's kind of how our connection came to be. But Baltimore just, it creates really, really tough people in general. And absolutely basketball players, tough basketball players. You can find them all over the world. Carmelo Anthony, Rudy Gay. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of them. It's one of the best places to go find basketball talent on earth. And he's one of those guys. He happens to be a little bit shorter in stature, but like you said, he's got a huge heart. He works relentlessly on his game. 2, 3, 4 hours a day, 500 shots, dribbling, working on his game, working on his conditioning. He's just a professional. He works his butt off. We had a little mishap early, and he had to step out, and then we went down by, I think, 6 or 8, and that ended up being pretty close to the difference in the game. Although we did fight back, but when he's not on the floor, we don't really have a chance to win. When he's out there, we got a pretty good chance to win. And he's still getting used to his teammates. He's played against Will, he's played against Sam, he's played against Scylla. They played with each other a little bit, but they're still getting used to each other. We're still getting used to what we can do on offense. We got a lot of talent. We got a unique roster with Damian at the point and Sam at the 5. So you got a pretty big discrepancy. I think you'd be hard pressed to find as big of a discrepancy on earth with every basketball team that's ever existed. Maybe Muggsy Bogues and Luke Bull when they play together. But those two are going to find a synergy together. They're going to find a way to benefit off each other and play together, as is Will and Scylla and Jennings and the rest of our guys that we incorporate, our local guys. So, love coaching them. Easy to coach. I mean, you just back away. He's going to do the work. You don't have to ask for effort. You don't have to ask about care factor. You don't have to tell him to work on his skill set. He just does it on his own. And we're just starting to learn. He's a lefty, so we're going to try to learn how to get him going to his left hand. Will's a lefty as well. Try to take advantage of them playing to their strengths and them just getting a feel for each other and how to play together.
Right?
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.